are going to talk to we're going to talk to an author. We wrap up our show every week with Frank Dello Stritto.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about Shame with William Shatner, which is tomorrow night's movie. And Reeling will follow our show tonight, people. The Reeling film program. So after this show at 9, you can see Reeling from Malden. And I hope Frank's there. Frank?
Joe, Frank Dello Stritto, talking about movies. How are you?
Good, Frank. We've got a film director here, Eric Casaccio.
How you doing?
I am very intimidated, so I'm going to watch what I say tonight.
Okay. Hey, does this movie have 2 titles or 3?
It has at least 2.
Shame, William Shatner.
Yeah. Excuse me, I'm on the hoof a bit here. Okay, so the movie is The Intruder.
Yes.
1962. William Shatner, directed by Roger Corman, written by Charles Beaumont, which surprised me when I looked it up, because, you know, you think of him as writing Twilight Zone episodes, etc. So it has that association with it, and Roger Corman was making mainly horror movies at the time. In 1962, he and Vincent Price were making the Edgar Allan Poe series that was so famous through the early 60s. And this one is about the racial tensions in the South. And you learn early on that William Shatner plays a character who comes ostensibly as a peacemaker, but actually to stir up racial tensions for his own purposes. And I'd say most of your viewers have PCs. Obviously, they couldn't watch you. Go into IMDb, the International Movie Database.com. Read the first sentence of the summary for this movie, and the first sentence of a more famous movie made the same year, The Music Man. And both of them have a stranger coming to town, and with a purpose not quite where they pretend to be. And it struck me when I read the resume, I said, wait a minute, this could be The Music Man, but because it has a wholly different flavor to it. Music Man's a musical comedy in a sense, and this movie is I would say, an honest and earnest portrayal of racial tensions of the early 60s. So something I don't really associate with Roger Corman, but Roger Corman did some things like that. And William Shatner, to me, is like the Alex Baldwin of the 1950s and 60s. He always got these pretty boy roles because he's a very handsome man, very masculine and all that. But I thought his best acting sometimes was a role with more edge, where he's playing the villain, and he's certainly that in this movie.
You know, Charles Beaumont wrote this great story, The Crooked Man, in the Playboy book of science fiction and fantasy. Where the whole, did you ever read it?
No.
Where the whole world is, have you read it, Frank?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
I have not.
In the Playboy book of science fiction and fantasy, the whole world goes gay to keep the population down. So Charles Beaumont wrote that in the 50s for Playboy. So he's the author of this. That's where I heard his name before.
Yeah. And just a tragic note on Charles Beaumont, he was, I think, 33 or 4 when he wrote this movie, and he would soon either contract or start to displaying the symptoms of a degenerative disease that would kill him within 5 years of this movie.
Wow.
He died a very young man. And
I did not know that.
he started aging, and he died at age 38, and his son said he looked like he was 95 when he died. And some of his last credits with the Twilight Zone are more or less courtesy credits. He might have had the idea and all that, but within a few years of this movie coming out, he was not able to write it. Writing a script is hard work. I mean, your director can tell you better than I can. There's a lot of hard work in making a movie, and he or a television script or whatever. And this would soon be beyond him. So I think some of his ideas were turned into scripts, and he was given credit for them, but that was kind of a gesture of friendship and all that, because he had been such a boon to the Twilight Zone.
Now, is this borderline film noir?
Well, if it's on your show, it has to be. I would say yeah. I mean, it's a dark. Whenever the world is portrayed in a dark way, with people with hidden motives, and the villain is often more likable than the hero, etc. You could say it's borderline film noir.
We've come up with a new term.
I guess was was officially over almost 10 years when this movie was made. But
1 minute left, Frank. Sorry.
okay, well, I'd say, Corman made things with a low budget. That was his trademark. And whenever you're making things with a low budget, film noir is not a bad place to go because you can make those movies cheaply because shadows cost you less than light. So, your readers can go online and read about this movie. And Corman himself had some problems with the local Southern sheriff because they weren't stupid and they knew he was this. He's not a Yankee really, but he was this Yankee coming in to make a movie about problems in the South, and they didn't appreciate it then. And now that I'm a Southerner, we don't appreciate it now.
But we appreciate you, Frank Dello Stritto.
Okay, very good.
We really do, man. Thanks.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
Next week.
Oh, yes.
Thanks, man. Bye. And that's our show for tonight. Great guy. Great guy. Frank Dello. Every week we talk about movies. Did you have fun talking movies?
I had a blast talking movies, and Frank, you don't have to be anything to be, feeling insecure about anything if you're watching this right now.
And it's 8:55, so I think we might have 30 seconds left. So we'll just keep talking until our crew comes in and tells us that we're off the air. Thank you very much for coming in from LA just for my show.
This was great. I had a blast.
Oh, you got to come back.
I will. I'll be back for Christmas.
Is that it for our show, Anthony? We're wrapping up. Visual Radio, July 22nd, 2011.
See you later.
No, it's July 11th. Oh, August 11th.
August 11th.
August 11th, 2011.